episode of the Future Insight podcast. I'm thrilled to have you with us as we explore the ideas, innovations, and emerging trends that are shaping tomorrow's world. Whether you're tuning in from home, on the go, or during a break in your day, we're glad you chose to spend time with us. Today, we're excited to welcome our guest to the show, an expert and thought leader whose perspectives will help us dig deeper into the innovations and breakthroughs driving the future. Dr. Mikhail wants to be referred to as Mike for this interview. Bukhtoyarov, a lecturer and faculty member of the Liberal Arts and Sciences at Budva, Montenegro, an external associate member of the Education Lab of the Institute of Philosophy and Social Theory at the University of Belgrade, Serbia. Thank you for joining us. We can't wait to hear about your experiences and research. Before we begin, however, I always ask our guests to provide us with some insight into your professional journey that brought you to where you are today. So with that, I will turn it over to you.
Hello, and thank you for the invitation. It's a great opportunity to talk to your audience and this podcast. I hope this podcast will promote some ideas and will be the source of insights for professionals and experts in education, technology, and other spheres. Speaking about my journey, it's a highly complex one. I would say that I had to combine multiple careers in course of my development. So I started from academia, combining it with some side jobs. You know, it's a very typical situation for young professional in education, in humanities. So I had to combine. I started as a PhD student in Russia and worked for the same university for many years. It's called Siberian Federal University. I got my PhD. I obtained my PhD in social and political philosophy in 2007. And it was the time when globalization and topics of political systems were very, very important. The technology was kind of not that obviously influencing politics and education. But later I switched to technology, and particularly educational technology. And in 2007, right after graduation and obtaining my PhD, I went to the US for 2 years. So I spent 2 years at Kent State University, Ohio, and got my master's in educational technology. That's how I started working between the fields. Actually, it was really interesting to combine the topics of social and political philosophy with education and technology. Then I worked 1 year in Germany. In 2022, I moved to Serbia because of the politics, and here I am working for the Faculty of Liberal Arts and Sciences in Montenegro and combining it with my research. I also try to work outside academia. That's why I started projects of my own. But they are also related to epistemology and philosophy. So I still try to combine different tracks.
You talked about how you took your initial background education in social and political philosophy, but you found that there was a natural nexus for that, if you will, with education and technology. Could you kind of explain to our listeners a little bit more about that, why you saw that as a natural sort of a crossroads, if you will?
Well, I forgot to mention that my bachelor's actually was in education and languages, philology. So it was very natural because I switched from education to social and political philosophy, then combined it with technology, and the topics mixed naturally. Actually, it was shown in one of my papers about educational, well, critical paper about educational technology and ideologies that on the very ground level, on the very philosophical level, technology, like George Siemens said once, technology is philosophy, technology is ideology. When we speak about educational technology, it becomes ideological and philosophical in many ways.
Absolutely. You talk a little bit about, and if you could kind of expound on this relative to what, with this, within this context, the social and ethical implications of emerging technologies in education. What are those, potential implications?
Well, again, I started as a kind of proponent of technology and even what is called techno-evangelist. So the person who promotes technology. But later, I switched to critical position because I understand that, when we apply technology in education, we have to be very cautious. We have to think twice about ethical, about social implications.
Right.
And my experience with technology, my experience with education, and I've been teaching for more than around 25 years. And it demonstrated, it just gave me the deep understanding of multifaceted understanding of what we have, what we bring into the classroom, into the curriculum when we apply particular technology. Speaking about current state of techno world, I would say that we are moving into a very dangerous and unknown era when technologies may surpass, they may be even more powerful than human understanding, and it is highly likely moving into the direction of uncontrolled, of even deceptive systems, which can be found everywhere. And education is the I wouldn't say that it's the last line of defense for humanity, but it's definitely the place where these changes will influence us most.
Is this what you refer to as post-human epistemology?
Well, posthuman epistemology, it's a broader project because to understand where are we going to understand how future systems may operate, we need some kind of not prognosis. We need the foresight tools, and our human capabilities are very limited. Usually, when we talk about foresight, it's some projections, some expert opinions, and scenarios that are based on human understanding of the development in some particular field or in general. What we are trying to do right now in our project, Open ASI, Artificial Superintelligence, Ontologies, and Scenarios Observatory, we are trying to find a way where technology is used to calculate, to construct potential futures, assess them, and build a kind of map of scenarios and ontologies of artificial superintelligence. I understand that it's a highly speculative approach, but we need some kind of map, something that we can refer to, and something that we can use as just the system to help humanity, help researchers to see how future may develop with this particular stack of technologies.
So you're looking at different potential scenarios and the potential impact it could have.
Exactly.
And is it too early? Are you sort of in an embryonic stage of your research, or are there already some, you know, potential takeaways, lessons to be learned that we can apply today?
Well, currently we are just developing the tool. I would say that yeah, it's an embryonic level because the project is tiny. It's just me and my collaborators, but we are in the from the very beginning. We are opening the project, and we are trying to create open framework because if we use foresight for strategic purposes of corporations or particular states, it can be really dangerous. Without openness, without clear vision, without responsible approach in this highly capable field of technology, we are in trouble.
Could you expound a little bit on that? If we don't exercise, some degree of preemptive response, I guess. You talk about exploring alternative ASI development pathways. What is the peril that we would encounter if we are not proactive in this regard?
Well, actually, a lot of companies, a lot of governmental initiatives are trying to be proactive. And we got regulations, policies, even before we developed some particular systems. For example, AI regulations, and strategies, they were discussed several years ago, even before large language models became public. But currently, we focus on particular architectures. Usually, such projects they do focus on particular architectures and the development of, for example, AGI, artificial general intelligence, which is the I wouldn't say holy grail, but something that is very expected to be the turning point for the whole industry. And currently, a lot of companies are trying to develop it. But it means that we are trying to look at artificial intelligence only from the point which is defined by these companies. Currently, we have multiple initiatives, smaller initiatives, open source initiatives, where there are capabilities for emergence of really complex systems. And current achievements in agentic AI, current achievements in complex multi-agent systems, they prove that actually we can have very different architectures of something that is so capable that it can be called superintelligence. In many ways, it is more powerful than human intelligence, than human cognition. But we don't have tools to track them. We just are looking at different in different direction. We are trying to control, to regulate something that may be out of control.
You have a chapter you're working on, a hypothesis of pragmatically moral superintelligence, and in there you expound on PMSI, pragmatically moral superintelligence. Could you talk to our listeners a little bit more about what that is?
Well, again, this hypothesis is a particular epistemic tool. So we don't claim that there is super intelligence here ruling and governing all of us. No, we are trying to speculate. We are trying to find scenarios in which we do have such super intelligence. What if we have distributed not not tracked super intelligence that can emerge within the stack of technologies that are already in operation. So when we have such complex networks of agents, non-human agents that actually develop emergent capabilities, what if we have that? How can we track that? And our ideas actually are quite optimistic. We believe that in order to operate efficiently, such potential intelligence, not actual but potential intelligence, that intelligence really needs human civilization. It needs human capabilities, and not only in terms of here and now, but in quite distant future, because actually biological substrate for intelligence it's very different from what technology can have and can develop. So we believe that it could be a kind of symbiosis for humans, for the humanity, and the technology.
What is the application? What is if you're talking with educators, whether it be educators at the in secondary level, high school teachers, or those that are educators in higher education, what is it that what is your message to them? I mean, what is the application to them? What is the what should they be thinking about or doing today relative to the tomorrow that you're speaking of?
Fellow researchers and educators and those who are responsible for the future generations, they have kind of competitor. Currently, we are competing with the corporations. We are competing with the services that provide answers, provide our students with answers, and not in the way Google did, but in a human-like way. That's a challenge. But if we start integrating these systems into education, we cannot avoid that. We have to. We of course we can try to build the walls, but our students will they will bring the technology into classroom. They will have this technology in their everyday life. So we need to create the environment. So it's an evolutionary approach. It's an evolutionary process. We need to create ecosystems of knowledge. We need to diversify them, and we have to bring technology into classroom in the most responsible manner. We have to demonstrate how this technology can be used safely and efficiently. So it's our responsibility to be with the students when these systems evolve.
Excellent. But before we end, I want to offer you just a moment here to give us some final thoughts here, if you will.
Thank you. First of all, I wanted to say that technology is not something scary. Technology, though we all have those Terminator movie images and ideas by Nick Bostrom, who threatened us with super intelligence and all these cyberpunk stories. We are in the age of cyberpunk, probably. Highly likely we are living in cyberpunk era. But technology is something that is highly sensitive to our biases. If we are afraid of something, we promote that. We include it into our texts, into our language, into our behavior. And artificial intelligence, it's a big mirror, multifaceted mirror. that actually reflects all our fears, like in old movies where you have to be brave and not be afraid of something that is in front of us. Let's just move into this direction of collaboration, of creating ecosystem where technology and humans coexist. This is our responsibility, being here and now. And well, in the times of crisis, we are responsible for making this crisis work for the whole humanity. Thank you for the opportunity to talk to your audience, and thank you for your questions.
Absolutely. And again, we appreciate you joining us here today, and thank you for those final thoughts and that charge, if you will, to all of us. So until next time, this is Dean Cantu for the Future Insight Podcast, where tomorrow begins today. Take care and stay well.